Hey, when you man, my Baba Megua, Imagabaga, Munisio, Umagoro, and Benjago, Tumuparam Melania, in a Chomwa, Bonilania, this is the there is hope. There is hope. Hey, yo. Oh, yes. In the presence of the Lord, I will bring my gift. With thanks to my I hear you. Give you all the praise. One more in the land of the bar. Yes, so for me, land of the enemy, the dear remember. All right. Greetings to you wherever that you are. I believe you all are doing wonderfully well. I'm very excited to have you
engage on this particular platform at this particular moment. Today happens to be the 25th of August 2026. It's a privilege. Now, on Tuesdays like this, we normally engage ourselves on this network on an intellectual discourse. So if you see me on your screens, it's not anything new, but I have come to share the word of God with you, an undiluted one as such. So wherever that you are, in case today happens to be the very first time that you're watching me, you can as well give us a thumbs of subscription so that by virtue of that, you become part of the Zenith family. And do well to also click on the notification bell so that anytime that we come live or probably engage on this very channel, you're going to get a feed. Do well to also grab your keypads and send all your thoughts to the comment section for me. I will be very grateful to receive your messages and respond to you as well. So kindly do well to leave your comments at the comment section. For the time being, I believe we have few messages in there. So let's quickly glance through the messages that we have at the comment section. I think most of the messages are pleasantry messages. Most of you people are trying to inquire about my farewell. Now, I am doing wonderfully well, as you can see. It sounds so amazing. It sounds so amazing. You must understand that. Okay? If you have any question, you must try and leave all your questions to the comment section for me. Okay, Linda says, Papa, please forgive and forget. What is it, Linda? Am I missing something? Because I don't know exactly where this message is actually coming from. Can you give me a tip of what is happening, Linda? Because I don't remember where I've engaged in any litigation with anybody. So what is happening? Linda, tell me, you said I should forgive and forget. What is happening? Have you done anything behind me? What is happening, Linda? Tell me. Explain yourself at the comment section. Wow. Nyamike says about my sympathy on the 18-year anniversary of the demise of your mom yesterday. Oh yes, when my mom kicked the bucket. Yesterday was exactly 18 years. You can see clearly that when she kicked the bucket, we were very young. 18 years as of yesterday. So I'm still celebrating my mom's 18 years of her journey to the zenith of heavens. So that is it. Thank you very much for showing empathy towards me. And thank you at the same time sympathizing with me. You must understand that life is probably agatho-calcological, and that is it. If you understand that life is full of agatho-calcological things of this sort, you will not pay much attention to it, or things of this sort cannot bring you down, if you understand me well. And that's the whole issue. So it's been 18 years, 18 good years. Just imagine. Life was so terrific. It wasn't easy for me personally. Yeah. Well, life had always been that bad. and I have grew to adjust to certain things in life, and I love it when it happens that way. I was raised on the edge of a sword. I have used my tongue to lick the surface of a sword before. That's how it is. Now, Papa, please, I had a thought in my head which was negative, and you spoke about it, and that made me feel ashamed. Okay. I see. So that is how it is, right? Life is all about good and bad. So we will say that life is agathocalcological. Agathocalcological. That is the English word for life being good and bad at the same time. So that is how it is. So, well, that is just by the way. Please, with all due respect, in case if you have any messages, you can as well leave all your messages to the comment section for me. And I'll be very grateful to respond to your messages as well. Tonight, I've got something few to share with you people. So make sure you advocate this very live stream to a lot of people. Tell them, share it to your profile pages and the groups that you have affiliated yourself to, especially those of you that has other media platforms on TikTok, on Facebook, WhatsApp, and a lot. You can do well to cut this particular live stream into pieces. You record it, then you upload it onto your profile pages. By virtue of that, it will give you a lot of viewership. And as you're doing that, you are also helping to spread the gospel at the same time, okay? So that is just by the way. So some of us, we never experience what we call motherly love. Majority of the people, I'm aware that a lot of people love their moms. And it sounds so amazing. And it's actually a good thing to love your mother as well. Because mom has a lot for us. So we have to love them and love them so dearly. So that's just by the way. But to the surprise of you people, OPATAFUOR, I never had a motherly care at the early tender stage. They threw me out at the age of 12 years. I was not all that exactly 12 years, but 3 months to my 12th year, they threw me out. So I had to go and then wallow through life and make sure I work certain things out. It will surprise you to hear that I was the sole agent who saw myself through education. My basic level, my secondary school level, and to the tertiary level. I am the only person who sponsored myself. There wasn't anybody in there. So I've really seen life. When we talk about life, I've gained experience in all walks of life, right from the 4 physical quadrant, at the basic level, right from my kindergarten to my crèche to my primary, which is from your class 1 to your class 6, and then from class 6 to your GHS 3. That's the basic level of education in this country. I am the one who saw myself through all these levels. And after completing, I had to see myself through the secondary school level. So as you can see, I'm not just an ordinary person. They threw me out at the age of 11 and then some months. But most of the times, I normally run it up by saying that I was thrown out of the house at the age of 12 years exactly. And it hasn't been easy, okay? I have stayed with countless of people, both the rich and the poor. I have stayed on the street. I've had an experiences with bad boys, bad girls. But do you know something? Even though when I stayed on the street, I never indulged myself in any criminal things. I never associated myself with gambling, fornicating, smoking, a lot of things. I never did that when I was in the street. And because of that, the Holy One had really shown me mercy by bringing me to this level in life. So you must understand things, okay? And I really love it. Now, Linda says, Papa, how did you do that? Linda, when I was at the KG1, KG2, I used to go to farm where I know how to climb a tree. So what happened is that I'll go for a contract. There was a woman who happens to be a petty trader, where she goes about buying orange, pawpaw, and other fruits. And then once she buys all these fruit, she will gather all these fruit together and take it to, there's a place in Ashanti region. I don't know if it is Ashanti region, but I stand to be corrected. There's a place called Ejra and then Atebubu. As at that time, in the early 98, 97, I was young as at then, 99, 2000, because I came to Kumasi at the early 2000. I came to Kumasi at the early 2000. I won a scholarship at the early 2000, so I came to Kumasi with that scholarship. Now, at that age, I used to go to the farm and then I'll climb a tree to pluck mangoes, oranges, and then pear. Now, when I pluck these fruits, what happens is that they will parcel it and weigh it out. One sack of orange, I think I've forgotten the price. They were selling it at least a reasonable price. If you are able to pluck a sack of orange, as at those days, they used to buy it at a certain price, which was at least good. So I was that type that knows how to climb a tree very well. But you see, most of the times when you climb the tree, there are red tree ants, a whole lot of these ants on the tree. And you have to do your techniques and stuff like that so that you can bring these red tree ants under the tree so that you can also be at the top, so that they will not have any sting on your body. So it hasn't been easy. So when I plug these sacks of fruits and then I sell it out to this woman, this said woman in context, she will probably pay me, and then I'll try and put all the money together, and then I'll use some to go and pay my school fees, if you understand. So it wasn't easy until when the year 2000 I came to Kumasi, and when I came to Kumasi, I came to stay at Ashtown, and right from Ashtown, I was schooling at King's. I know majority of people, you know where King's is. The airport runabout on King's International Airport runabout. That's where I schooled. I schooled from class 1 to class 2 to class 3. Now getting to class 4, I had to stop because the funds were not coming. The resources were not there, and I had to relocate to Meduma as well. Now, when we get to Meduma, I saw myself through education in, I think, St. Michael those days. St. Michael was one of the renowned schools in Meduma as at then. I don't know the current situation of the school. So right from that place to, I was ejected from the house where I was staying, and I had nowhere to stay. So I had to pack my things and move to the village. So I went to stay at the village, and at the village, when I went to the village, the kind of people who were there, in fact, I didn't like their lifestyle at all. And the nature of the school was in a state of dilapidated melancholy. You will not even have the taste for it. So I didn't like the lifestyle of those people as at then. So I didn't bother myself, see myself in that school. So I waited and waited and waited until one day a woman came to the town to buy plantain. And then when she bought the plantains, then she would come and ask me to go to the bush and carry all these plantains to the town, where it is easy for a car to convey it to the town. So when I was doing that for the woman, she actually saw the spark of the Holy One in me, where she said that in fact, I am very brilliant and intelligent as well. And because of that, she would love to help me. So there is a woman who lives at not Akosobo to be precise, at Tipuku rather. And then the woman is actually looking for a houseboy. So if I will gladly accept that offer. And then I welcomed that offer. Then she took me from Kumasi at the Achumamponwa district to be precise, where she took me to Atimpoku Eastern region, where the Flower River is. Now, when we got to Atimpoku, I went to stay with this woman. And then this woman was actually having a restaurant. Now, when you get to the Atimpoku station, there is a restaurant at the station called 39 Steps. That's exactly where I stayed. Now, when I went to Atimpoku, I went to Atimpoku Presby. Now, when I went to Atimpoku Presby, at a point, I got hurt. And then this woman that I was actually staying with, she was not bothered to take me to the hospital. So I had no option than to tell the woman who actually brought me to that place. And then she arrived at the conclusion that there is another woman who stays at Akosomo. She is also looking for somebody to stay with. And then she had no option than to take me from where I was staying in Atimpoku 39 Steps. And then she took me to Akosomo Combined, to be precise. Now, when she took me to Akosomo, I had to go to a school in Akosomo called, I think, I've forgotten the name. When I remember the name, I'll tell you. Now, it was a primary school from class 1 to class 6. Now, I went to that particular class 6 in third term. And to the surprise of that school, after we wrote our third term exams, I became the third position. I took the third position. So they saw me to be very brilliant. And then I was passed to go to JHS. Now, when we went to JHS, I had my JHS level of education in complex. Those of you who have stayed in Akosomo, you agree with me that there's a school in Akosomo called Complex. The second in command when you are to take AIS, Akosomo International School. The next school that follows is complex. Actually, the Canadians were building that particular school as a tertiary level. But when they built that particular institution, they were not having a place to build, I think, their dormitory and staff quarters and stuff like that. So they later reverted to be used as a basic school level. So when you go there, when you look at the ambience, it's not easy. It doesn't resemble a basic level of education. It resembles like a tertiary level of education. And that's exactly where I schooled and then completed my basic level of education. So you see, when I was in Kosovo, it wasn't easy. I stayed with this woman, and at a point, this woman that I'm talking about, in fact, she is extremely good. I'm talking in respect of the one that I did stay with in Kosovo. She is extremely good, kind. But you see, one way or the other, somewhere along the line, she actually fell sick, and they had no option than to relocate her to where one of her daughters were living, because one of her daughters got married to a medical doctor, where this medical doctor was living in Krobodumasi. So this is where I followed this woman from Akosomo to Krobodumasi. So most of the times when I tell you that I have stayed in Krobodumasi, this is exactly what led me to Krobodumasi. And when I was staying in Krobodumasi, I used to come to Palm Station to take care of a pharmacy at that place. So it wasn't easy as at that time. We used to come to shop. We have the pharmacist over there, but I used to come and take care of the money because the man didn't trust those pharmacists as at that place. So they will do the prescription, give out the medicine, but when it comes to the money, I collect the money and take in charge of it. And at the end of the day, when we close, then I'll go home and give an account. So that is what actually led me to my experiences in Eastern region. So you can see that from the day one, it has always been me. You must understand things. And I've ever lived that painful life, but somewhere along the line, I think so far, so good. Okay? So it's not as how you see things. I've really wallowed through life. Okay? Oh my goodness. Now Linda says, I went to secondary school at Krobodumasi. Okay, sounds so amazing. Oh, somebody says, so do you know of Menya Krobo? Oh, we have the Menya Krobo and then Yellow Krobo. You know it. I've stayed in all these areas. Menya Krobo and Yellow Krobo. Okay, we have the Miami as a festival and the Kloyosiklemi as a festival as well. And all these festivals is being celebrated by my wonderful people, the Krobos. And you all know that, okay? The depot and stuff that they have been doing, it's just a minor occasion for these, the Krobo people. Their major festival is the Miami and the Kloyosikleni and stuff like that. The Menya and the Yellow Krobo. So I have once stayed in Krobodumasi. And you see, it wasn't easy. So when I came to stay with this woman, I followed her to stay with her in Krobodumasi. And somewhere along the line, the daughter had to take her to South Africa for medical treatment. And I had to come back to Akosomo. I had no option. And then I was transferred to go and stay with an ex-military man. And in fact, this ex-military man, he is wicked. I don't know if you are to put Lucifer or Simai on a scale with this man. I'm sure that this man will probably outweigh this Lucifer in question, because that man was very wicked. He never allows me to eat in the house. He's naturally not bothered. In fact, as at that moment, I was handed over to, I think, if the Bible says that we do not wrestle against the flesh and blood, but rather the spirit of the wicked forces. I think at that moment, the Holy One has handed me over to the wicked forces of this world. In fact, he really dealt with me. I went through a lot. I think I was thrown into hell, and I later came out as the hellfire, right? Now, at some point, I couldn't stay with this man, and I had to relocate somewhere. When I actually got to, I think, my JHS 2, getting to JHS 3, JHS 2 third term, I couldn't stay with this ex-military man, and I had to relocate to somewhere else. And I was staying with another man, and this man too, I think he was good, but he wasn't having it. So he probably gave me his veranda to sleep there, and to make sure I make provisions for myself. And I stayed at the veranda from third term JHS 2 to I think second term in Form 3, right? That's what happened to me. But I had no option. I had to cope with it. And that is what happened. Now, somebody actually says, Jennifer Nimaku says, Papa, I was also you stood at MES, where Akosomo International School. Oh, wow, I see. I actually wrote my BEC in AIS, Akosomo International School. I wrote my BEC at MES. You know, MES, rich people lives in MES. If you are not rich, you cannot stay at MES. Akosomo, it is only the rich people who stays at the MES. In fact, those of you who doesn't have any idea of AIS, you can Google that particular school and then look at it, how it really looks like, the ambience, their level of tuition, and the tutors over there. You can actually look at it. So I wrote my BEC at AIS, and it wasn't easy. In fact, their ladies are fresh. Yes, if we are to talk of ladies, they are fresh ladies. You see, their parents are rich. So at those days, we used to mingle with them. Though as a poor man, I wasn't having the privilege, and I was that shy type. Okay, I was that shy type where I wasn't having that courage to be talking to women. Those days, you don't have money. How can you talk to a woman? So that was the whole show. Maybe if I was to have something in my pocket, I would have mastered that courage to approach a lady as at then. But there was no money. So I had to stay at my one corner and make sure that I learned. And I was learning serious. I was learning, okay? Oh my goodness. Linda says, my brother-in-law attended AIS. Wow, then you people are rich. Your brother-in-law, they are rich, because AIS, if you don't have money, you can never attend AIS. One of the biggest schools in the whole of Eastern region. AIS, Akosomo International School. A school that has a multinational attendees. So you can go there and cross-check things. Those days, we the poor ones who were brilliant, we had the opportunity to go to complex. So I was in Akosomo, complex, JHS number 1A. Today, I think the number 1A and 1B, they have put in all of them together. In our time, as at then, we were having complex, JHS number 1A. The number 1A starts from Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. And 1B starts from Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. The 2A starts from Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. And 2B starts from Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. So we were about 4, 5, 6,000 in number in that particular campus. So that is how it is. Okay. Jennifer Numaku says, yes, the people living in mess are very rich. So that's the whole show. So you see, I have really journeyed through life. So when I was coming up, I didn't take life for granted, okay? So you must understand OPATAFUOR when sometimes, when I'm a little bit harsh, understand me. So that's the whole show. Oh my goodness, my goodness. So as I've told you, life is agatho-calcological. When we say life is agatho-calcological, we are trying to tell you that life is good and bad at the same time. Whatever that comes your way, you embrace it, then you work on it. If you don't like it, you change it. If you like it, then you make sure you make it stay. And that is it. So that is just by the way. Okay, Jennifer Nimako says the woman I was living was a teacher at that school. Okay. So Eastern region, that's exactly where I completed my basic level of education. So I went to study, to understudy from these Voltarians and the Krobos, right? The Voltarians and the Krobos, they are the one who taught me how to speak English. Those days, our English madam, she was so beautiful, and how she normally exercised restraint towards me. And I think that those days, she was feeling my vibe. I was a type that when you come on campus, everybody knows me. That kind of a gangster lifestyle was in me. But I wasn't that much stubborn because I wasn't having money. And I was actually staying with people. Okay, so that was the whole show. So my Ewe people and the Krobos, they taught me English language. And I really appreciate them for that. I quite remember my English madam. Hey, in fact, I was actually feeling shy. So most of the times I have to make sure that anytime that she gives us an assignment or a work, I have to make sure that I pass. And I'm not passing because I was actually looking for a feature out of that particular English language. No. Because I asked for English language, but I was trying to pass all my English exercises just to impress this particular English madam. You see the narrative. That was the mentality that I was carrying when I was at the JHS level. So I had to work hard, study hard. And then at times, she will specially invite me to the staff common room where there is nobody in there. Then she'll be teaching me intonations and pronunciations at the same time. Those days when you speak English, you'll be opening your mouth widely just like that. And then she'll tell me, tone down, this is that, do this, do that. In fact, this woman, I wish I knew where she was. I would have paid her a visit one day, and then if probably dash her some chicken change. and tell her that I've made it in life. Okay, so that's just by the way. Okay. So Linda says, Papa, since you are an Ashanti man, did you have problems pronouncing the L and R? Definitely. You know you can never be an Ashanti man and tell me that you don't have issues with your L and R. So you have to probably work on it. You have to work on it. Okay. Look. He says what? He said, Papa, look her up on social media. I have forgotten her name. I have forgotten her name. Oh, Linda. I have forgotten her name, okay? So an Ashanti man, definitely you have issues with your L and R. So I was actually working intensively regarding the pronunciations and the tonations of some of these words, okay? So an Ashanti man, it's as how it is. We have issues with our L and R because of the way some of our P vocabulary sounds. So it has to be that. Even as you are an Ashanti man, no matter the level of education that you have acquired, yet still, you still have problems. That is why most of the Ashanti graduates, when they are speaking, unless maybe you were actually born in America or any of these foreign countries who speaks English. Apart from that, if you were born in Ghana, you were breastfed in Ghana, you went to Ghanaian schools, you have mastered all things through our local zone. I'm telling you that once you are an Ashanti, when you are speaking the English dialect, you exercise restraint. You can't flow as compared to the people who are living in diaspora or people who were born in diaspora. You will actually tone down and make sure you bring out your words one by one. So when President Kufuor was in power, anytime that you see President Kufuor speaking, you see that he'll be exercising restraint on all of his engagement. He exercised a lot of time when he's speaking, and that's the nature of things. So I am a proud Ashanti man, if you understand what I'm saying. That's just by the way. Okay, now Mr. Aaron says, Papa, I've been blessed with another job after almost 3 years of staying home. We thank Elohim for whatever that he has been doing in your life. Okay, it sounds so amazing. So most of these parliamentarians who are Ashantis or probably the Akans who originate from the Akan community, they have issues with English language. Okay, if you see any Ashanti man who is fluent at English, then it's either the person went to a high class school in a society, like those who went to AIS and other first class institutions in this country. With those people, you know, they are very strict. But we went to Saito, the value is still the same. You can never compare yourself to those people and get that. Or they had some levels of education in diaspora. Maybe they attended Manchester University, Sheffield, Harvard, and other top class universities in diaspora. With that, I can assure you that at least you will not suffer with our tonations and pronunciations as well. Apart from that, all those accounts who actually saw themselves through the basic level to the secondary school cycle to the tertiary before going for a further upgradement, maybe to pursue their masters or MPhil from diaspora, they are never fluent at English. Those who are fluent, they exercise restraint before they speak. Their tonation, they bring out the word one by one. But when it comes to slangs, you cannot, because that's not how we were brought up, okay? So that is just by the way. Please, with all due respect, if you have any question, leave it at the comment section. Very soon, I want to touch on the issues of the pregnant woman and then her baby. The pregnant woman and then her baby. So that is how it is. That is how it is. Oh my goodness. So the Ga people, to Linda says they can't pronounce H. Ga people can't pronounce H. Wow. I'm not familiar with that, and I've not taken my time to listen to any Ga individual speaking as well. So that is just by the way. I have not taken my time to listen to any Ga. Okay, that is just by the way. Now let's move on. I believe very well that we have once had an encounter with a pregnant woman before. As a matter of fact, majority of you people are watching me. Your women have once got impregnated for you, where they carried the baby in their womb for a couple of months or days or years before they brought out whatever that they were having in their womb. Now, I posted a video on TikTok where I was trying to stir people's spirit up, where I threw a question to them by asking them that, what is the difference between a pregnant woman and the child that she carries? At the comment section, people were trying to explain things, but when I glanced through all the questions that they were having and the answers that they left, I think none of them got it right. Now, the difference between a pregnant woman and the baby that she carries is that the woman lives in a realm that all eyes can perceive her, and the baby lives in a realm where not all eyes can perceive the baby. You will only see the woman having a protrude stomach, a well-swallowing stomach. But you see, as to what exactly that is in the womb of this woman, nobody knows. The only difference is that the woman has brain, the baby also has brain. The woman has heart, the baby also had hearts. All of them, they have hearts at the same time. So there is no difference. But the only difference between this baby and the mother is their state of existence. The woman lives in a realm where all eyes can see her, but the baby lives in a realm where no eyes can perceive the baby in the physical realm. At the moment where an eye can see the baby is when the baby has been brought out from the womb of the mom. And that can only happen when there is time for the baby to come out. When it is due for the baby to come out. That is the only difference. Their state of existence is the only difference. When you go to the market center where people are crowded, when you go to your various destinations, if there is a pregnant woman over there, you see the woman definitely. The woman doesn't inhabit a realm where you cannot see her. Every pregnant woman walks physically. But physically, can you see the baby? You only see a protruded stomach. But you cannot see the baby unless you decide to walk the woman through a machine where the machine will give you some details. When you take some special scans, this is where the machine will give you a description of what you are carried in the womb. That is exactly how we humans, our destinies are. Everybody has a destiny. Everybody has a destiny. But you are carrying your destiny in your womb, irrespective of your nature. If you're a medical doctor, a lawyer, whatever your job description may be, your profession may be, your destiny is in the womb of time, as how a baby is in the womb of time. Now, when it gets to the 9 month or the preferred date where medical expert deems it fit that indeed, as at this particular time in the life of that pregnant woman, it is worth it for the woman to go to the labor ward and deliver her baby. At that moment, the woman has no option than to go through the most painful moment of her time. She walks through a time that she herself, she doesn't have the mouth to describe how painful it is. But you see, the woman has no option than to allow herself to walk through that painful moment, all because she wants to see the face of what she has carried in her womb for a couple of months or years. We are all aware that it is written in the Bible that a man or a woman should carry the baby in the womb for 9 months. That is what the Holy One gave to women. But at a point, due to the medical condition surrounding certain children, they go an extra mile. I know a baby that was carried in the womb of the mom for 1 year. Some of them 1 year, 6 months. Some of them can go 2 years. All depends on the circumstances surrounding that particular baby in that womb. That is how life is. At a critical moment, you must walk through a painful moment where you will not have the strength, the mouth to even describe it. At a point when the child refused to come out, the woman had to go through a cesarean section. Some of you, the nurses, you are aware of what I'm saying. You have to cut the woman open and take the baby out. So some of you people, we must cut you in life before you'll be able to give birth to your destinies. The success, the riches, the things that your spirit has been longing for. At a point, we need to cut some of you people. Because if we don't cut you open, you will still wallow through long suffering and keep on with higher hopes, having the perception that if this year didn't go well, next year things will change. The next year will come, you walk through the very next year and nothing positive will happen to you. This has been your story. On 31st night, you attend various churches. And then they'll tell you a year by this time your life will never be the same. Then you shout, yeah. The next very year, your life still remains the same. Nothing has happened. Some of you people, you are like the pregnant woman and the children. Okay? You are like the pregnant women and their children. You carry your destinies, but you have never seen the face of your destiny. You carry them, you have them in your own womb. Some of you, the men, you have your destinies. You have them in your belly, and you are refusing to deliver. You are refusing to deliver. So we must cut you open. We must cut you open. The difference between a pregnant woman and the child, there's only one difference. The difference is that the baby lives in a realm that the human eyes cannot perceive. How many of you people have that capabilities to perceive how a baby in the womb of the mother looks like? How many of you people have that ability? We have never been given that opportunity. So if the woman wants to see what is in her womb for the past 9 months, 10 months, she needs to walk herself to the labor ward and experience the last minute pain before she'll be able to deliver. And that is how life is all about. You are living physically, but your destinies, it inhabits a realm where you cannot perceive with your physical eyes. That is why you dream most of the times that you are plugging mangoes and fruit. There are several visions that you might have experienced telling you that there are good things ahead of you. The good dreams that you have experienced can be compared to the moment where a woman goes to the hospital, takes multiple scans, either through ultrasound or whatever scan that she literally undertakes, and then they tell the woman that you are carrying a bouncing baby boy or a beautiful baby girl. Then she becomes happy. But as to confirm whether what the machine is saying is the truth or not, she has no idea until the 9 months comes where she walks herself to the labor ward and give birth. You have been to so many churches. The prophet was having an ultrasound eye where the prophet was able to scan you out. And then they told you that you have a very bright future. But as I speak with you, you have not been able to give birth to that bright future that was spoken about decades ago, that was spoken about years ago. The prophecies that you received regarding your babies, when you were pregnant, you went to maybe 1 or 2 prophetic church and they told you that your baby is carrying a destiny, your baby is the savior. Maybe some of you people, 1 or 2 reasons. You took your children along with you and then you went to a place where somebody saw the baby, and then the person told you that take very good care of your babies because the baby you are carrying carries an extraordinary star. I believe majority of you people, you have experienced that. What action have you necessitated regarding that prophecy? Tell me. What action have you necessitated regarding the prophecies that you have received regarding your destinies? You all are like a pregnant woman and the baby. The only difference is that the baby lives in a realm where no physical eye can perceive the baby. But the woman lives in the physical realm. You can feel and touch the woman. But when it comes to the baby, you cannot feel the baby, neither can you touch the baby. You argue with me that when you touch the stomach, how would you be able to know that what you have touched, that is exactly the baby that you have touched? How would you be able to know? If you touch the protruding stomach of the pregnant woman, you, in your mind, you think you have touched the baby. But how would you be able to know? So when you touch that particular protrude stomach, it is not the baby that you have touched. You have still touched the flesh of the woman. So the only difference is that majority of you people, you have not been able to manifested your dreams. Your dreams, your destinies are still living in a realm where you yourself, you cannot feel and touch it. But you yourself, you live in the realm where you can feel and touch yourself. Okay? Majority of you people, your lifestyle, the things that you're supposed to achieve, the good marriage, the pounds, the dollars, the euros that you're looking for, the good job that you're looking for, the good life that you're looking for, it all lives in a realm that your eyes cannot perceive. So you are like a pregnant woman. The difference between you and your destiny is that you live in a realm where all eyes can see you, but your destiny lives in a realm where you cannot perceive with your naked eyes. That is why you only see good things about your life when you sleep, either through trances or dreams or in a vision state. And at a time, if the woman wants to see what she is carrying, she must go through the last minute pain. If you want to give birth to what you are aspiring for, if you want to give birth to what you have wanted much, if you want to give birth to what you have been dreaming of, if you want to give birth to what you've actually had visions severally about, you must walk yourself to the labor ward and be ready to give birth as at that moment. You must give yourself that time. Walk yourself to the ward, the labor ward. Some of you, you must walk yourself to the disciplining ward, because majority of you people, the reason why you have not been able to achieve whatever that you are asking for is because you are not disciplined. You are not disciplined. So you walk yourself to the disciplining world. Then you go and labor through discipline before what you are looking for will come. Some of you people, you need to walk yourself to the patient's ward. You have been praying for the Holy One to bless you with marriage. As a man, as a woman, you lack communicational skills. you don't have that ability to tolerate excesses. So how on earth can you enter into marriage since you can't tolerate excesses? You are not willing to change. You have been carrying the vision of how your marriage should look like, but you see, you have not been able to give birth to it because you have not visited the labor ward. You are not willing, you are not prepared to walk yourself through the last minute pain to gain what you want, to get exactly what you have been longing for. You must walk yourself to the labor ward and be willing to labor and give out what you have been carrying in your womb. You want the Holy One to heal you, but you don't eat according to your health status. You are over 40 years of age. As I speak with you, you are over 40 years of age. And you still eat according to your tastes. Over 40 years of age. You don't eat to feel, but you rather eat to heal. At the age of 40 years, sister, brother, you don't eat to feel, you eat to heal. So you eat according to your health status, but you don't eat according to taste. And that is the true nature of life. Some of you, you have to walk yourself to the labor ward and give birth to obedience. You are too recalcitrant. Simple laws, you can't take it. You can't abide by simple logic. Simple laws, you can't abide by it. Why? You are still carrying that thing that you're expecting the Holy One to do for you, but yet still you can't give birth to that discipline that will give you the merit or the anchor to receive what you expect the Holy One to give it to you. Indiscipline, disrespect, disobedience. You must walk yourself to the labor ward. I will only tell you the truth, whether you hate me or you like me. I have grown to understand certain things, being it that life is agatho-calcological. It's either good or bad. So I know for a fact that it's either you like me or you hate me in life. Whatever that may be, I accept any of this in good faith. But you see, I have to tell you the truth. Nothing but the truth. Your destinies, the things you are looking for, it lives in the womb of time. So the pregnant woman, if she wants to know, see, feel, touch what she has been carrying in her womb, she needs to walk herself to the labor ward, experience the last minute pain before the baby will come out. Even in some conditions, they need to walk the woman through a cesarean section before the baby will come out. Some of you people, by force, you need to undergo a cesarean section in life to take certain things from you, to take certain things down, the things that are preventing you from receiving what you want. Some of you people, we need to take it down. Some of you people, we need to take it down, or else you can't get what you're looking for. And that is the truth. You keep on going to church. Every now and then we will be preaching prosperity to you, giving you high hopes, telling you that a year by this time your life will never going to be the same. You walk through the very year, nothing happens. You go to church on 31st, then they still give you that higher hopes. Some of you are not spiritually disciplined. You are not spiritually disciplined. There are three things that can destroy the life of everybody, no matter how powerful you are. You can run to go enjoy an occultic society. You can be very powerful. But these three things, they know no boundary unless you become disciplined in life, or else that three things will destroy you. You are not spiritually disciplined. Walk yourself to the labor ward. Walk yourself to the labor ward. Walk yourself. Listen to me carefully. Walk yourself to the labor ward and say to yourself that the only difference between you and what you are looking for is that what you are looking for, it is not as if it is not real. It is real, but it's just that thing lives in a realm where you yourself, you cannot use your eyes to perceive. And you are also living in a realm where you can be felt, seen, and touched at the same time. So if you want to experience what you are longing for, you must walk yourself through the labor ward. Go there and give birth. Discipline will help you a lot for you to manifest whatever that you are carrying in your womb. The only difference between a pregnant woman and her baby is that one lives in a realm where all eyes can see, and one lives in a realm where no eyes can see physically. That is the only truth. Your destiny is coded within a given duration. Your destiny is coded within a given duration. Some of you have exceeded the time in which you are supposed to carry that thing in your womb. You have exceeded that. You have exceeded that, and you must give birth. 10 years ago, you bought a plot of land. As I speak with you, you have not been able to complete it. Why? Because you have not walked yourself to the labor ward to go through the last minute pain to complete it, to give birth to the building or the house. You have not walked yourself to the labor ward. Last year, you were having a lot of plans. Last year, you were having a lot of plans. How far have you been able to make manifest some of the plans that you were having last year? Or still this year, nothing to write home about? Last year, you said to yourself that you will complete the building. This year, at the early beginning, you said to yourself that you will complete the building. And because of your indiscipline, how far have you gone through with the building? Hello, sister, I'm talking to you. Don't just look at me just like that. Mr. Man, I'm talking to you. How far are you through with your building, your house? You bought a plot of land 3, 4, 5 years ago. Your plot is in the bush. because you live an indisciplined life. Lack of financial prudence. You mismanage your funds just like that. You are not disciplined with your money. You are not disciplined with your money. You are not disciplined with your money. Walk yourself to the labor ward and give birth. Some of the women in African labor ward, some of the women, when they get to the hospital, they themselves, they refuse to give birth. So some of the senior nurses, these midwives, they tend to beat the hell out of these women. Some of these women who walks themselves to the labor ward, sometimes because of the pain, they behave in a way where if care is not taken, the baby will die. So some of these senior midwives, they have to beat the hell out of these pregnant women at the labor ward before they will give birth. And some of these things have been happening. They beat them. So this evening, some of you people have to use the word of God to beat you, give you some lashes. I have to give you some lashes this very evening to clear your minds and clear your eyes as well. You are becoming too loquacious in the society, talking too much. You are becoming empty braggarts. Today, as I speak with you, most of the people are knowing you to be somebody who speaks a lot, who talks a lot, but have nothing to show. And because of that, you are eventually losing your respect. Some of you too, you have become so silent. Your silence is destroying things. Your silence is destroying things. You have become silent for so long. Your silence have affected your finances and every literal things that connote to your well-being. Your silence has affected everything. You need actions in life. Stand up and start doing something. Okay? Stand up and start doing something. You have written countless of application where you walk yourself to the front desk of any reputable company that you deem it fit. But as I speak with you, you have not been called. Some of you people, you are living hand to mouth. You have the prowess over there. The idea, the intelligence is there. You can fix one or two things in your life. Some of you have to only become obedient for God to see you through in all angles. The only thing some of you have to do is to become obedient. Just be obedient and you will never lack in life. Just be obedient and the Spirit of the Lord will take care of you. You want to do some small top-ups. You want to do some small top-ups. But you see, everybody is afraid of the last minute pain. Everybody is literally afraid of the last minute pain. The last minute pain that a woman goes through before she gives birth, before she is being given the mandate to see the face of what she has been carrying for months or for years. If you want to give birth to what you have been carrying, how many prophecies have you received? With all due respect, how many prophecies have you received? How many prophecies have you received? You walk to church A, church B, church C. They keep on telling you that you have a very great destiny. In the future, you shall live a successful life. You are getting to 50 years of age. Which future are you talking about? Tell me, which future are you talking about? 40 years, 41, 42, 43 years. You are literally getting to your 50 years of age. The question is, are you going to walk yourself to the labor ward to work yourself out, go through the last minute pain, and get what you want? Or you'll still be there where people will keep on flattering you with verses? Tell me. Are you going to sit down, fold your arms, look unconcerned for people to flatter you with words? You are so beautiful. You are so sweet. You are this, you are that. And you have nothing. You are so intelligent. You are so brilliant. Some of you people, you need the touch of a senior prophet. You need somebody to pour a little oil on your head. Not the Borges, the Sabroso, and the olive oil. No, a pure oil from the Holy One. You need a touch. But sometimes you have been giving yourself some excuses. Oh, all the prophets in this world are not genuine. In this end time, we don't have genuine prophet. When you say that, you are indirectly insulting the Lord. The world doesn't belong to the devil. So all the prophets in the world can never be false prophet. This is the exact word that the prophet Elijah said, and God became angry with him. During the time when false prophet became rampant in the system, where they were everywhere, after Elijah allowed himself to be used to battle those 450, he later went to the presence of the Lord and said to the Lord that he is the only surviving prophet alive. And when he said that, the Holy One became furious at his statement. And from that day, he lost the glory. And the Lord told him that go and give the power to Elisha. And because of what you have said, I will give Elisha twice of what you are carrying. So Bible says that the double portion of the anointing that was on the life of Elijah came upon Elisha. So if you tell me that all the prophets in the world are scam, all the bishops are not correct, then you yourself, you are not even correct. You are not even closer to the word correct. Not all prophets are fake. There are genuine ones in the system. You must know that. There are genuine ones in the system. Walk yourself to the labor ward. Some of you need to undergo a prayer and fasting. You must pray for 21 days. Some of you need to go through a serious prayer sections in your life. If the strength is there, some of you people, you need to fast. If the strength is there, some of you people, you need to fast. You are afraid of the pain. How can you get your baby since you don't want to go through the last minute pain? A pregnant woman, I'm asking you this question. How do you want to get your baby? Somebody has been terrorizing your life. A demon, a witch, a witchcraft, a wizard, a witch. a sorcerer, a zangoma, a fetish priest and priestess. They have been terrorizing your life in the family. Instead of you to sit up, allow yourself to go through the last minute pain. Say to yourself that whatever that happens, you give everything to the Lord and work hard. You're giving yourself some flimsy excuses. Until today, majority of the things that you are supposed to have, it has still been remained in a realm where your physical eyes can't perceive. Now go and read the book of Genesis. Before the Holy One blessed Abraham, he went through the last minute pain. Go and ask. Read the Bible. Bible says that before the Holy One blessed Abraham, he told him that he needs to be circumcised. Imagine us at that time, when Abraham went for circumcision, he was already grown up, a grown-up being. The manhood was as big as my hand, like this. But the Lord says that the last minute pain before he will be able to receive Isaac and bring Isaac into existence, he needs to go through the labor ward for them to cut the mouth of the penis, for them to walk him through the circumcision levels. And then he went through before getting Isaac, before Jacob getting the blessings from the higher realm. He needs to fight with an angel to an extent where he beats the waist of the angel, and the angel also beats the waist of Jacob, 50-50. And when the angel looked to the seriousness of Jacob, this is where he said, now you are due and you need to be honored. From today henceforth, you're not going to be called Jacob, your name shall be Israel. So this is where we got the Israel from. They need to go and cut Abraham when he was at the age of 90 years. When he has literally had countless of affair with women. Countless of affair with women. The Holy One said, hey young man, I don't like this kotiboto. Go and allow yourself to be circumcised. And he went through the circumcision process. As old as he is, he had no option. Took Abraham to the bed, opened the thing, and in those days they were carrying weight, not the Otele ones. This one is the Gruma ones, not the Otele ones. The Otele ones in this current world, because of hardship, because of economic recessions, because of utility bills. You are paying for light bill, you are paying for water bill, you are paying for internet bill, a lot of pressure. So by the time you realize the pressure has been necked deeply in you, where it will pass through your manhood, then your manhood will be shrinking. So if you see so many men and their manhood has shrunk to a point where it is left with this, please don't blame the man. He is really going through a lot. Pressure is not making the bola big. But those days, there was nothing like lights bill, water bill, school fees, house rent, and those things. So the man was having a comfortable life, and the man was living at peace. So their manhood was not an ordinary thing. It was like the beam balance, right? Something like this. But in this modern world, you can't have something like this. If you have something like this, then you have really cheated nature. Okay? if you are a man and in this current dispensation, you have something like this, please, you have cheated nature. It is not supposed to be like this. At least the best 2 inches should be added to what Otele is having. Pressure. So Abraham, as at that age, carrying a timber right under his socket, in between the legs of the man, we call it socket. Okay. Having a timber, he needed to allow himself to walk through certain movement for them to circumcise him. Okay, Abraham having that timber, he went through the circumcision process. Just imagine how painful it would have been as at then. But he had no option, since he had the intention of achieving his goals. He needs to walk himself through that circumcision process. You need to walk yourself through certain processes before you be able to get what you have or what you are looking for. That is the reality. So, all this while, Sarah has never reached her orgasm before. Because once as a man, you have not been circumcised, you cannot pierce the woman for her to get her orgasm. That will never happen. So Sarah never reached her orgasm during sexual intercourse with Abraham, until when one day Abraham underwent the circumcision processes. After they saw
Oh, yes, in the presence of the Lord, I will bring my gift. We thank you for that, Lord. Everybody, Papa, give me a sister,
So that is just by the way. You must understand that. All what I'm trying to tell you is that you must walk yourself through the last minute pain, where everybody will chastise you, more hands will be pointed at you, majority of the tongues will rise against you, most of the people will reject you. You call on to people, you put a call across the ends of people that you deem it fit, and those people will reject you for no reason. That is the painful moment. If you find yourself in any of these, that is your moment. You are in your labor. Very soon you will give birth. very soon you will give birth. So the difference between a pregnant woman and the baby, the woman literally has everything. The baby also has everything. But their difference lies in their state of existence. One lives in a realm where all eyes can perceive, and the other lives in a realm where no eye can perceive. And the related reference is that you can compare it to our human lives, our destinies, our blessings, our progress lives in the realm that we cannot see. But we ourselves, being the pregnant woman, we live in the realm where all eyes can perceive us. So if you want to deliver what you are aspiring for, if you want to deliver what you have been dreaming of, if you want to deliver what you have had visions of, if you want to deliver what you have wished to have or to become, you must walk yourself to the labor ward where you go through the last minute pain to receive whatever that you want. And that is it. That is it. I once told the Holy One that I am willing to receive anything. Whatever that he wants to give it to me, I'm willing to receive it. And at a point, he took me through processes. Some of them, in fact, I must confess, it wasn't enjoyable at all. Pain after pain. But I allow myself to go through all those things. And at the end of the day, the Lord has given me something special that majority of the people here on earth doesn't have. And you must understand that. Before Abraham got Isaac, he underwent a circumcision process. That time, the manhood was longer than this. Those days, it was longer than this. I don't know the inches of this permanent marker, but those days it was longer than this. It was longer than this. Longer than this, bigger than this, and thicker than this. Even with that, Abraham allowed himself to go through that painful process. And when he went through that process, after he was healed, he actually came back holding a real gun. When he hadn't been circumcised, he was having a pistol, a small gun just like that. He was not even able to fire. But the very moment he underwent a circumcision process, he came out having an AK-47 that anytime that he shoots his shots, it kills. So which one do you want? Do you want the pistol or the AK-47? All depends on you, and that is life. If you want the AK-47, then you must allow yourself to go through the circumcision process. And that process is very painful. if you are in old age. So if you are beyond 40 years, you are in your old age, and you must allow yourself for me to circumcise you. Circumcise you spiritually, physically. I know it will pain you. Maybe one of my speeches will hurt you. And that is the pain you must go through to get what you are looking for. And that is your circumcision period. You are in a season where you are undergoing a circumcision process. And you must understand that. I must use the blade, which is my tongue, to cut you into pieces. Cut the foreskin of the hood. Some of you people on seriousness, you are not serious in life. You don't take things serious. You literally joke with everything. That is why your life has remained like that. You take things for granted, just like that. And I have to use my tongue to circumcise you, or else you can't get what you're looking for. I must make sure to prune all the unwanted branches that you have bared in life. You have mastered some behaviors that is not going to help you, and we need to literally work on that. I'll speak to you without fear or favor, so that you wake up and do something. I will speak to you without fear and favor, so that you wake up and do something for yourself, so that you allow yourself to go through the circumcision process, so that at the end of the day, when you are healed, you come out with a AK-47, so that you can shoot and kill bigger and bigger and bigger. The talking is becoming too much. You are literally becoming too loquacious in the system. At first, they knew you to be somebody who doesn't like talking. But these days, you are talking too much. You are talking too much. And the majority of the things that you are saying, it doesn't add up. So it's better you keep your mouth. I must circumcise you, or else you can't get closer to the Spirit. Every literal thing that got closer to the Holy One, that thing was circumcised. That thing was circumcised. If you want money, I must circumcise you before you can get the money. If you want good health, if you want long life, you must go through the circumcision process before you get that thing. I want you to live in a state where, when you are given a full mandate of your own destiny and blessings as well, no demon or evil spirit can literally take that thing from you. That is why you get money from today, the next tomorrow the money is not there or has been exhausted. That is why some of you people, at a point, the favors keeps on coming. At a point, it becomes suspended. Nothing positive is affecting your life. Today, you are living in a state of confusion. I know the circumcision process is very painful, but please, with all due respect, allow yourself to be circumcised. Allow yourself. It is never too late. I serve a God who doesn't pay much attention to time. I'm telling you the truth. I am serving a God who doesn't pay much attention to time. That is why he was able to walk Abraham through the circumcision process when Abraham got to the age of 90 years. Still 90 years, the Lord used him to fulfill a promise. Are you 90 years? Are you 90 years? At the age of 90, irrespective of the old age of Abraham, still he went through the circumcision process, which was very painful. After he was done with all these circumcision processes, he came out healed, fully with that mendacity, that power. He went out, he actually came out with full capacity to be controlling things. I'm telling you the truth, my brother. There are so many people who were not circumcised spiritually. So as a matter of fact, the little things that their hands actually touched in life, they have exhausted it all. They have nothing left on them. So I've met countless of people who keeps on saying that, Papa, we have once had money before. We were having thousands of dollars, thousands of pounds, millions of pounds. But as they speak with me, as at that moment, they have nothing to write home about. Do you know why? It's because they were not circumcised spiritually. And once you are not circumcised spiritually, you can never anchor any blessing that the Holy One gives to you. Automatically, you lay it wasted. I'm telling you the truth. There's one particular scripture in the Bible. I love it so much. And the reason why I love it is because the way Jesus took his time to craft that particular statement, it was so amazing. It takes only the person who has allowed himself to be gifted with the spirit of discernment before you are able to break that particular code to understand exactly what Jesus was saying. Jesus said something. Jesus Christ said something. And that particular statement is so powerful, extremely powerful. Now let me share this with you. Jesus says something. Matthew chapter 6 verse 19 to 20. Let's see something in the Bible. If you have your Bibles, let's cross-check something. Matthew, the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 19 to 20. Matthew chapter 6, verse 19 to 20. Now, this is exactly what Jesus said to the people. He says, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal." This is a powerful statement that Jesus Christ gave to his people. He says, lay not treasures in this earth, or else termites, moth, and other animals will eat it up and destroy it. That is exactly what Jesus said. But rather, lay up your treasures in heaven, where the moth, the cankerworm, the palmer worms, the caterpillars, they cannot access that dimension and destroy it. This is exactly what Jesus said to the people. Now, there has been several misinterpretations of this scripture, where majority of the Christians have been lied to, where some of the pastors, not all of them, keeps on telling people that once you keep on contributing to their ministry, it means you are laying everything in heaven. Where are you laying? Where is the heaven? When was the last time that the Holy One descended to receive collection? Or when was the last time that the Holy One descended to receive anything of that sort? But you see, the offertories, the collection, the tithes that we have been receiving, all is being directed into the church project. Maybe if you are building something in the church, if you want to enlarge your territories, we use some of the money to foot for our utility bills, the water bills, the light bills of the church, and sometimes go further by taking care of the vulnerable ones in the society. We are able to facilitate all these things from the money that when you come to church you have been giving us. So where is the heaven? There is no single collection or offertory that goes to heaven. Nobody knows the gate where you pass to get to heaven and present your collection. But in the logical way, this is what the offering we have been receiving goes to. The projects, the activities that we use the money to facilitate. But the heaven that Jesus was trying to tell the people is that heaven exists in the realms of the spirit. Heaven exists in the realms of the spirit. So Jesus was trying to tell the people that all the material things that people have been running after, secure it spiritually. Secure it, because heaven is another way of saying in the realms of the spirit, or in the divine realm, in the highest realm. Heaven, we can use the word heaven to substitute a highest realm where Jesus himself originated from. So he says that don't just think you build your house physically. Don't just think you go and work in a firm just like that physically. Don't just think you're a medical doctor, so you walk with your naked eyes and then your prowess that you have acquired from the medical field, or else you lose it all. Because Jesus made us to understand that there are moths, there are cankerworms, there are palmer worms, there are caterpillars in life who eats into the destinies of humanity and destroy it. So there are witches, there are demons, there are evil spirits everywhere. In every given jurisdiction, every given profession, every given society, there is a witch, there is a wizard, there is a sorcerer, there is an entity over there who impersonates the character of a moth, a cankerworm, a power a worm, a caterpillar over there who destroys a lot. Who destroys a lot. That is exactly what Jesus was trying to tell them. So lay up your treasures in the realms of the spirit. If you anchor yourself in the realms of the spirit, nobody can break you down physically. But you see, when you don't pay much attention to the things of the spirit, and you think you can use your intellectualism to gain everything that you want, at the end of the day, a wind, a thunderstorm, a windstorm, a rainstorm will hit you so strong to an extent where you lose everything. And that is what Jesus was saying. He says, lay up not your treasures on earth. Lay up not your treasures on earth, but in heaven, in the higher realm, Secure yourself spiritually. Secure yourself, or your intellectualism will be wasted. Now, those of you who are watching us, there was a man who came to Zenith. The man, most of the times when he comes to church, you see him sitting at the right side when you enter the podium, right at the right side, by using the first gate. When you are actually going right from the road, when you use the first gate, the man usually sits at the back. He is a matured man, a man whom, if I am not to lie, he is not less than 70 years, or in his early 70s or late 60s. Now, he was suffering from stroke, and most of the time he was holding a rod in his hand just like that. You see, most of the times, one day I sat in front of this man and I decided to interrogate him, and then he said to me that he doesn't want to reveal his identity. He is a retired high court judge. That is what the man told me. He said he is a retired high court judge. And when he retired and came home, all what he brought home, he has lost it all. And I asked him why. And then he said to me that at the early beginning, when the stroke was coming, he did everything within his means to make sure to get himself relief from that particular chronic ailment. Then he went through series of processes where he traveled to so many towns. They would tell him that this Zangoma, a witch doctor, a deity is living at this particular zone. That person has the cure to stroke. He will go there, spend days. He has been to the northern region. He has been to the Volta region. He has been to Benin. Exhausted everything to an extent where he used the house that he is owning, the house that he has built for himself, to go and receive loan. And after receiving the loan, he exhausted all the loan on the sickness. And now he was not having anything to go and pay the loan. So the bank had to come and collect what he has spent over so many years to acquire. Now he's living in rented apartment, and even the rented apartment, the house is due, the rent is due, and he doesn't have money to pay. There was a man who used to come to the church. I used to play with him. He comes in with a bushy hair like that, sitting at the right corner. Most of the times he's very quiet. I'll pray for everybody, leaving him over there, and then I'll go to him and I'll be playing with him. At a point, I told him that should I give him a girlfriend? Sometimes we used to play just like that. When I listened to the story of this retired high court judge, I was surprised. He told me, he says, "Prophet, I was having a lot of money. This wasn't how my life was." Now I asked him that, where is his children? And then he told me that 2 of his children are also lawyers. And then 1 is a medical doctor. But you see, even with their profession, they can't take care of their father much, because they all have responsibilities to also attend. They all have responsibilities to also attend. And because of that, at some point, the man has to go an extra mile. He doesn't have any alternative. He needs to keep his mouth mute and wallow through pain. Wallow through pain, because he stored up his treasures on earth. So when the palmer worms and the caterpillar came, They have eaten all up. Today he is back to square one and had nothing to write home about. He is suffering. Most of you who came to Zenith at the latter days, I believe this man that I've described, I think you have you've caught the glimpse of what I'm saying. This is what happened. So please forget and allow yourself to be circumcised so that you can be fully connected to the Holy One, so that protection will be guaranteed, protection will be 100% secured. With all due respect, thank you very much and God bless you. See you on Thursday.
Everywhere I move around.